But you've talked about deep listening, and I know it's something that you are expert at. How do you truly deep listen?
So, a really good way to do this is to ask a person on a scale from 1 to 10, how are we doing? How are we working together? How am I supporting you? Whatever area we want to look at. Say on a scale from 1 to 10, how are we doing on this, or how am I doing on this with you? And then when they give us a number, and sometimes people feel uncomfortable and they might say, oh, you're an 8 or a 9. And even though we know that it's not the case, then you could say, well, what would it take to make it a 15? But at least if they give you a number lower than, I'd say, 8, say to them, what would it take to make it a 10? So it would go, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well are we working together? How well is our relationship? How well are we collaborating? And then whenever they give you the number, say first, what would it take to make it a 10? And then if they give you that exceptionally high number, what would it take to make it a 15?
Yeah.
And then really listen. And here's the thing I found about listening. As soon as somebody says something that we don't agree with or is factually wrong, we have this compelled, we almost feel compelled to correct them in the moment. What I coach people to do is take a note and don't respond. Let them talk it all the way out. And then when they're done, repeat back what you're hearing them say. I don't mean word for word, but in essence, and then prove to them, I really get where you're coming from, which we can demonstrate. And then look at what they're saying and then start to deal with those issues. The reason why I say this is I've also found by working in the Intel area and with security and whatnot, that generally speaking, whatever somebody first tells you is the issue is almost never the real issue. So if we respond or debate with them as soon as we don't like something, they're going to shut down. That's why we need to deeply listen to them in such a way as we really get what's going on.